Hello, my wonderful students, and welcome to week 2 of this distance learning. So today we're going to continue and we're going to extend on the direct variation by learning about its opposite, which is inverse variation. So an inverse variation is a specific relationship in which there is a constant product. So product, remember, means multiply, and I'll explain why we're saying multiply, but it doesn't match up with the formula later, between all ordered pairs. So just like in direct variation, there was that constant of variation. That constant of variation still shows up in this inverse variation. So in inverse variation equations are written in the form of y equals k divided by x. So in direct variation, it was y equals kx. So direct was y equals kx. But now inverse means the opposite. The opposite of multiplication is division. Okay, so that's where the formula comes from. So just like in direct variation, when I had you find the k value, you're going to do the same thing for inverse variation. So I'm giving you these different examples, and we have to find what the constant of variation is. So our directions here says identify the constant of the ordered pair below, and then write the equation to represent the relationship. So we're going to find k, and then we're going to rewrite our information using this equation. So it doesn't matter which point that you pick, okay? Because if it's constant, it means it's remaining the same value between all three ordered pairs. So it doesn't matter if I pick this one, the 1, 20, or the 4, 5, I should get the same k value for each one. So to find k, we're going to use our equation y equals k divided by x. And we're going to replace our values. So I'm going to use this one, 1 and 20. So 1 in this case is going to be our x value, and 20 is going to be our y value. So in our equation, I'm going to replace y with 20. K is what we're trying to find, so we don't know what that is. And then I'm going to replace x with 1. So now we have to solve this equation for k. Super simple to do. So this is a division problem. To get rid of division, you multiply. So that means we need to multiply both sides by 1. 20 times 1 is just 20. So 20 equals k. So that's our constant of variation. We found our constant. Now we need to write the equation. So the standard equation is y equals k divided by x. So in this case, it's going to be y equals 20 divided by x. This is going to be our equation that represents this relationship. Looking at number 2. So same thing, find our k first. It's the first step you always want to do if it's not given to you. So our y value, let's use this problem. So my x value is going to be 4, and my y value is going to be -7. So replacing over here, -7 equals k divided by 4. Again, I want to get that k by itself. So this is a division problem. To get rid of division, or to eliminate division, I have to multiply. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. -7 times +4 is going to give me -28. So that's my k. Writing the equation, I'm going to get y equals -28 divided by x. And again, it doesn't matter which point that you picked. You could have picked the 1, -28, or the 2, -14. You're going to get the same answer because k is supposed to be constant between all three of these points. All right, looking at number 3. So the decimals make it look like it's going to be difficult. But remember I said you can pick any point that you want. So you don't have to use -0.5 or -1.5. So I'm going to use -2 and 3, or -2 and -3. Sorry, guys. So same thing. Always start by finding your k. So y equals kx is the formula we're using. We're going to replace y with this -3. So -3 equals k. We don't know. X is going to be -2. Eliminate the -2 by multiplying. So multiply both sides by -2. A negative and a negative is going to give me a +6 equals k. So now I'm going to make my equation y equals 6 divided by x. That way now we have our equation. So if I would give you another random y value, say the y value is, I don't know, say 5, you would be able to find the x value. Or if I gave you the x value, you should be able to find the y value with this equation. Looking at number 4, again, it doesn't matter what point that you pick. So I'm going to pick -3, 4. And if you want, while you're going along with this, if you want to try and pick a different point just to make sure you get the same answer, go for it. So y equals k divided by x, replacing values. So my y value is going to be the 4. I don't know what k is. My x value is -3. Multiply both sides by -3. I'm going to get -12 equals k. And then writing my equation is going to be y equals -12 divided by x. So let's apply this process to something that you might actually see in the real world. So the age of a car varies inversely. So there's our keyword, inversely. That means we're going to be using the equation y equals k divided by x instead of the direct variation. So that's how you can know if you need to use a direct variation equation or if you need to use the inverse. Look for those key words. Does it say it varies directly, or does it say that it varies inversely? In this case, it says it varies inversely, so we know that we need to use this equation. So the age of a car varies inversely to the worth. I'm going to have age be represented by y, and I'm going to have the worth, or the amount the car costs, represented by x. So after buying a car, Javier decides to get it appraised every few years. After owning the car for 4 years, so 4 years, that's an age, so that means that's a y. So in this case, y is going to be 4. Its value is 12,000. 12,000 value, that's a worth. So this is going to be x. Okay, what is the value of the car if he owns it for 8 years? So what are they asking us to find? Are they asking us to find the y value or the x value? So it says, what is the value? And we said value, or the worth, is x. So it's asking us to find the x value if he owns it for 8 years. So here's our y. So first thing, just like up here, we need to find the k first. What is that constant? So we find the k by using the two pieces of information that we know. So y equals k divided by x, substituting in 4 for y and 12,000 for x. Same thing, this is a division problem. To get rid of the division problem, we multiply both sides by 12,000. So we get 12,000 times 4. 12,000 times 4 is 48,000. So 48, 1, 2, 3. Oops, you can't see it, sorry. 48,000 is going to equal k. So now our new equation is going to be y equals 48,000 divided by x. Now, this is where we would have stopped on numbers 1 through 4. However, for number 5 and 6, they should have been numbered 5 and 6. Oops. You're going to keep going. So with this other information, it wants to know what the value is. So we're looking for x of the car if he owns it for 8 years. So we're going to replace a y with 8. And we don't know what x is. So again, to solve for x, this is still just a division problem. So to get rid of it, you need to multiply. But you always multiply by what's on the denominator, on the bottom of the fraction. So in this case, we're going to multiply both sides by x. So we're going to get on the left-hand side 8x equals, the x's are going to cancel out, 48,123,000. Then you're going to divide both sides by 8 because we want to get that x by itself. So we're going to get x equals 48,000 divided by 8 is going to be 6,000. So what that means is that after 8 years, this car is only going to be worth $6,000. So it's going to be worth like half of what it originally was worth. All right, number 2. After buying a car, Rebecca decides to get it appraised every few years. So kind of the same thing Javi was doing. After owning the car for 1 year, its value is $15,000. Okay, so make sure to define your x and y values. So unlike direct variation, it doesn't really matter what you make x and what you make y unless it's specified like it was up in number 1 through 4. So in this case, I am going to have after owning the car for 1 year, let's make that x. So let's make how long you own the vehicle bx. So we owned it for a year. And let's make its value y. So it's worth 15,000. After owning the car for 3 years, so that's another x. Its value is 5,000. So that's value is y. So it's basically giving us more information than we need. Just like up here, we were given 1, 2, 3, 4 points, but we really only needed 1. Okay, here it's giving us 2 different pieces of information, but we really only need to use one of them. It doesn't matter which one you use. You'll get the same answer. So it says, what is the constant variation in this inverse variation? So again, we're looking for a constant, k, and it's telling us that it's an inverse. So we know we need to use y equals k divided by x. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and go for this one. So y is 5,000. I don't know what k is. That's what I'm trying to find. Divided by 3. Multiply both sides by 3. I'm going to get k equals 15,000. Okay. All right. Flipping to the next page. Now we're finding missing values. So always first step, find k first. Okay, that's always our first step. Find k first. So if the following ordered pairs represent an inverse variation, so it's telling us that these are inverse variations, so we're going to use y equals k divided by x. Find the missing value. Okay, so find k first. So in this one, we're going to use our equation y equals k divided by x. Our y value is 14. Our x value is 12. So replacing those, 14 equals k is what we're trying to find, divided by 12. So multiply both sides by 12. K is going to equal 168. So now we have k, but that's not finished. We need to find the missing value. So the missing value here is y. We need to find that y. So y equals k divided by x. Still same equations, except we know what k is now. So y is what we're trying to find. K we know is 168, and we know that x is negative 24. So this is just a division problem. So you just have to divide. So 168 divided by negative 24 should get negative 7. That means the missing value is negative 7. Looking at number 2, same thing. Actually, I'm not going to do number 2. I'm just going to skip down here. You can try that on your own. Number 3, same thing. I'm using y equals k divided by x. Always find k first. So I don't have all the information here, so I'm going to look at this information. Negative 18 is going to be my x. 6 is going to be my y. Replacing values, 6 equals k is what I'm trying to find first, divided by negative 18. So multiply both sides by negative 18. I'm going to get k equals negative 108. But I'm not done. I need to find that missing value. So my new equation is y equals negative 108 divided by x. Replacing what I know. I don't know what y is, so it's going to stay y. Negative 108 divided by the x value is 9. Negative 108 divided by negative 9 is going to be negative 12. Okay. I think I'm just going to stick going down this left-hand side. If you guys want me to come back and show you the right-hand side, just let me know. But just to save time, I'm going to stick to the left-hand side. So this says, if y equals 9 when x is negative 6, find x when y is 3. So it's just written a little bit different, but it's still the same concept. So the first thing we want to do is find k. So y equals k divided by x. Here's where I have the complete information. So y is 9, I don't know k, x is negative 6. Multiply both sides by negative 6. Negative 9 times negative 6 is going to be negative 54. And that's what's going to be k. So our new equation is y equals negative 54 divided by x. So this says find x, so we're trying to find x when y is 3. So replacing information, 3 equals negative 54 divided by x. So this is similar to those car problems. So I want to multiply both sides by x. So I'm going to get 3x equals negative 54, and then divide both sides by 3. So basically what you're doing is you're flipping where x was and where 3 was. So x is going to be negative 54 divided by 3, which is going to give you negative 18. Right, and last but not least, number 7. Same thing, find k first using our equation y equals k divided by x. If y equals 12 when x equals negative 6, so 12 equals k divided by negative 6. Multiply both sides by negative 6. 12 times negative 6 is going to be negative 72. Our new equation is y equals negative 72 divided by x. So again, we're finding x. So we're looking for x when y is negative 24. So negative 24 equals negative 72 divided by x. Multiply both sides by x. Again, negative 24x equals negative 72. Divide both sides by negative 24. Get x equals positive 3. All right, if you have any questions or if you would like for me to do the right-hand side, please let me know.